High Flight. During the dark days of the Battle of Britain in World War II, hundreds of Americans crossed the border into Canada to enlist with the Royal Canadian Air Force. Knowingly breaking the law, but with the tacit approval of the then neutral United States government, they volunteered to fight Hitler's Germany. John Gillespie McGee, Jr. was one such American. He was born in Shanghai, China, to missionary parents in 1922. John was just 18 years old when he entered flight school. Within a year, he was sent to England and posted to the newly formed Flight Squadron on June 30th, 1941. He began flying the fighter aircraft known as Spitfire. While flying missions over France and England against the German Luftwaffe, John rose to the rank of pilot officer. At the time, German bombers were crossing the English Channel frequently to attack British cities and factories. On September 3, 1941, John flew a high-altitude test flight in a newer model of the Spitfire. As he orbited and climbed upward to 30,000 feet, he was struck with the inspiration of a poem. The words, "To touch the face of God," resounded in his mind. Once back on the ground, he wrote a letter to his parents. In it, he commented, "I am enclosing a verse I wrote the other day. It started at 30,000 feet and was finished soon after I landed." On the back of the letter, he jotted down these words, "Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth and danced the skies on laughter's silvered wings. Sunward I've climbed and joined the tumbling mirth of sun-split clouds, and done 100 things you've not dreamed of, wheeled and soared and swung high in the sunlit silence. Hovering there, I've chased the shouting wind along and flung my eager craft through footless halls of air. Up, up the long, delirious, burning blue, I've topped the windswept heights with easy grace, where never lark or even eagle flew. And while with silent, lifted mind, I've trod the high untrespassed sanctity of space, put out my hand, and touched the face of God." Just 3 months later, on December 11th, 1941, and just 3 days after the United States entered the war against Germany, Pilot Officer John Gillespie McGee, Jr. passed away. The Spitfire he flew collided with another aircraft over England. The two planes were flying in the clouds, and neither saw the other. He was just 19 years old and is buried in a church cemetery in England. Little did John know that just 3 months earlier he wrote his own epitaph. His gravestone is inscribed, "Oh, I have slipped the surly bonds of earth, put out my hand, and touched the face of God."